So the statement is, now I'm ready to shift my timeline. Okay, thank you very much, Pritesh, for watching the screen and admitting the ones who might wish to join further. Thank you. I greet you all today by bringing light, bringing love and trust into your hearts. You're all very welcome to take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, to feel how you step deeper and deeper into these vibrations. And as you release the air, you let go of everything, of anything that doesn't serve you here and now. And once more, you breathe in, bringing your attention as well in the center of your heart. And as you breathe out, you just easily, gently let go of whatever doesn't serve you here and now. And you're all invited now to become fully aware of this group. To imagine yourself sitting in a circle among all the others in the group. To feel the energy of the circle, to feel its radiance, and to invite it to spread further into your own environment. Feeling as well the connection with each and every member of the group, opening your heart to their own presence as well. And as you do so, we also bring the energy of the central sun that nourishes now your crown chakra. We direct the light of the central sun into your third eye, deeper into the area of your throat, into your heart, into the solar plexus, into the sacral area and the root chakra. Creating now a column of light all around your system. Feeling the expansion of your own energy field. Becoming aware of how your chakras open. Checking how you feel right now. Noticing if there is any difference at the level of the sensations in your body. If you feel lighter. Noticing as well and becoming fully aware of the space of your true heart. Expanding that energy even more. And now please gently bring your attention right in the center of your heart, taking one more deep breath in. Gently breathing out. And for the duration of this transmission, please keep your attention as much as you can in the center of your heart. And this way you make yourself sure that you fully embody this transmission without having to record information in your mind actively, but rather relaxing yourself, relaxing your body as well, relaxing the mind, and resting your attention in the sacred space of your heart. I encourage you to do so just for a few moments in which you relax completely and you rest in the center of your heart. And we are going to start this transmission sharing with you that shifting timelines is one of the most important topics that we ever brought into your attention. The timeline is represented by a vibrational unit on which you choose to function. It might be chosen consciously or unconsciously. I also share with you that unfortunately, for the majority of humanity at this time, the choice of the current timeline or current vibrational unit is made most of the time unconsciously. This happens often because human beings are not completely aware of their own belief system. When their belief system unfolds itself and they become aware of those empowering beliefs, and in the same time, they become aware as well of those lower vibrational beliefs, then the choice is made at the conscious level. Please take a deep breath in, please gently breathe out. We are here with you today to kindly remind you that that specific timeline on which you function is determined by your emotional state, which means that the response that the way in which you respond to a specific situation will open a specific timeline. And as your response continues, you start crystallizing that specific timeline, which means that each and every situation is perfectly neutral. We are going to say it again and again. Each and every situation is perfectly neutral. Outside of the condition of the mind, any situation can be approached completely objectively. The response that you give, the response that you bring up towards the situation itself is the one that creates your timeline. We are going to offer you a few simple examples. As one is announced that is going to change the job, for example, what in your world you will call losing a job. It is just a simple situation. It's not a positive or a negative one. It's completely neutral. It has the same chances of creating a very positive outcome and exactly the same chances to create a negative one. We remind you as well that any positive versus negative outcome will be so only in relation to your own intentions. Please notice here that there is no positivity nor negativity in your entire reality. Whatever we call positive or negative is always, and it will be always, accordingly to your own intentions. As we assume that in this case, your intention would be to assume that your intention would be to keep your job or to find a job that you like more, being paid as you would wish to, we can refer to that positive outcome being strictly related to your intention. Going back, we say that whenever this kind of situation is given to you, is brought to you into your own reality, the response, your reaction to it is the one that opens up a new timeline. If your reaction is no, this is awful, then you automatically position yourself on a low vibrational timeline. And if you keep your reaction, if you keep your perception upon this situation, then you start crystallizing that specific timeline. In this case, there is almost no possibility to attract something, to create something, to manifest something, which will actually vibrate with the resonance of your heart. Therefore, once more, going back to the situation, I've lost my job. Another possible response is, that's great. It means that life is ready to give me something new. It means as well that I'm ready to embrace something new. It might be that the next job is going to resonate with the vibration of my heart, with my own wishes and intentions, much more than the previous job. Another kind of response, which might be more neutral, is, okay, I see the situation, I understand it, and I allow it to be as it is, surrendering any outcome to the universe itself. In both cases, the timelines that you start crystallizing will be high vibrational timelines. Whenever we refer to low vibrational timelines or high vibrational timelines, please keep in mind that we do not see them as actually being positive or negative outside your own perception, outside your own intentions. Therefore, whenever we say lower vibrational state or negative timeline, we refer to those timelines that do not resonate with your own wishes and intentions. Whenever we refer to high vibrational timelines, we actually refer to those timelines that are very much aligned with your own wishes and intentions. Sometimes we use low vibrational timeline to define a three-dimensional reality. Sometimes we are going to use a high vibrational timeline to define the fifth dimensional reality. The difference in between them is that on a third dimensional timeline, the perception upon being separated, the identification with your physical body, the identification with your person and personality is much higher than on a high dimensional, on a high vibrational timeline, where the perception of being separated is very much diminished. which means that the sense of unity is much more increased than on a third dimensional timeline. Please take a deep breath in and then gently breathe out, keeping your attention in the center of your heart. Once more, we share with you that there is no positive or negative situation. However you label it is your choice. It is an interpretation of your own mind, being it a conscious or a less conscious interpretation. The first tool that you have when it comes to shift your timeline is your own way of thinking. Therefore, whenever you'd wish to change from a lower dimensional timeline to a more positive one, the first thing that one should do and one can do is to change the way how one thinks. This doesn't mean that if today you have very positive thoughts and yesterday you had very negative ones, yesterday you have manifested everything in a negative way, which doesn't resonate with your heart, and today you're going to manifest only positive things. It doesn't happen like this, though for a person who functions very much in the present moment, the manifestation process is going to be altered, is going to go faster and faster and faster. But though your thoughts from today are not going to create a positive timeline compared with the ones that you had yesterday, but rather your thoughts in which you have believed for a while, they have created certain mind stories, mind patterns that constitute now your own belief system. Your entire reality is mainly directed by your belief system, by those mind patterns, those mind stories that you keep repeating to yourself, that you keep believing in, them. There are as well mind patterns which function at the unconscious level, which means that sometime in your past you have decided that this is what you believe in relation to a specific situation, event, or person. And then you have registered that as a subconscious program. And since then, your attention didn't revise that belief, which means that even nowadays, you still function upon that specific program. Just because you never went back to it, you never gave it a second thought, which means that you're acting blindly upon it. In one's belief system, there will be many unconscious beliefs, and on the other hand, there will be as well many consciously adopted beliefs. It is much simpler to change those that you can notice, and of course, much harder to actually identify those very subtle beliefs that keep you blocked on a certain timeline. Those beliefs are usually very old collective patterns that you've never questioned. This happens very often in your reality. You take things for granted and you start acting upon them without questioning them. How many times did you ask yourself whom I really am? How many times did you ask yourself the question, am I this body? How many times did you ask yourself, what is my emotional body and how do I store my emotions? How many times did you question all the collective stories that were brought to you? How many times did you ask yourself if a certain concept really resonates with your heart? Or you have embraced it just because it is familiar for you. And as the mind loves familiarity, it will embrace that concept, even if it doesn't resonate with your heart. Therefore, our first recommendation for today is to learn how to ask questions. We don't teach you how to question everything and how to create more doubt into your heart, into your lives, but rather how to keep your attention in the space of your heart and to observe what deeply resonates with your heart and what doesn't. In this way, you will easily identify those beliefs that constitute, that create your belief system. Those beliefs that do not resonate with your heart, but you're acting blindly upon them, creating your own reality, creating your own timeline, crystallizing that timeline, and then functioning only on that specific timeline, because that is the range of frequencies that you got accustomed with. Whenever you wish to shift your timeline, you'll have to get out of your comfort zone. There is absolutely no possibility for you to shift to a high vibrational timeline without stepping out of your own comfort zone. We do not say you have to feel uncomfortable. We do not say you have to experience any kind of pain or suffering or to struggle. What we actually say is you need to revise your opinion about what it is unknown. Because the mind's tendency is to reject whatever is new, which means that it is meant to function on the same timeline again and again and again. The mind loves to know what is going to happen. It loves to plan. It loves common things. It loves familiarity. It loves to recreate experiences. The heart, though, which is aligned with a higher perception, a higher dimension, loves the unknown because it knows that this is how life actually works. Things are meant to change for you to be able to evolve. But as the mind rejects any kind of change, and it is highly afraid of what it is unknown, it is very hard actually for someone to move, to shift from one timeline to another. Therefore, the first and the most important step is to redefine the unknown, which means that you're very much invited to ask yourself, how do I see what is new? How do I perceive what is unknown? And then to shift that to, I am ready to be surprised by life. I am ready to face life as a child, full of curiosity and ready to play. I love to have new experiences. And I know that those new experiences are the ones that facilitate my evolution on Earth. reshifting your perception of unknown, redefining your perception of unknown from I'm afraid of it because I don't know what is going to happen, to I am ready for all the surprises that life has for me. I am ready to enjoy new experiences. I face life with curiosity, loving to play the game in different ways. In this way, you're actually taking the first step of moving from a third dimensional timeline to a fifth dimensional one. Please take a deep breath in, please gently breathe out. Whenever we say get out of your comfort zone, we actually say try something new. It matters very little if you try it at the level of your behavior or not. What it actually matters is to try it at the level of your thinking. Most of the times, this might have a certain influence upon your behavior, but it's not necessarily. Though, observing the thinking patterns and changing them will help you actually to create new situations in your life. Whenever we say get out of your comfort zone, we say as well, observe all those things that you became dependent on and diminish them as much as you can. The result of this action would be that instead of keeping yourself into a state of dependency, depending on your own comfort, on your own environment, on the way you got used with things, you actually challenge your system to adapt to a new and different way of living, which automatically determines the frequency, the range of frequencies in which you function to change. This happens, for example, whenever you decide to fast. It happens as well when you decide to do a water fasting. It happens whenever you meditate. And as you go deeper and deeper into your meditation process, it happens whenever you adopt a new practice like yoga or conscious breathing or so on. You're actually shifting to a new vibration by opening up new neuronal pathways. Even when you find yourself into a very strict routine and you decide that today you're going to reach your workplace by taking another route, even that simple action has the potential and it will constitute a step for shifting your own timeline. Whenever you change your diet, whenever you increase the quantity of oxygen that you bring in your system, whenever you start seeing relationships in different ways, whenever you start giving more, whenever you release that fear that kept you from acting in certain ways, you're actually taking good steps for shifting your timeline. Please take a deep breath in. Please gently breathe out. Once more, we share with you that your mind is going to tell you, don't make the change. It's actually going to bring all the possible advices to stay on the same timeline. Mind doesn't like change. The mind doesn't like to be pulled out of its comfort zone. The mind will be that one which will tell you, don't fast. Don't change your diet. Don't meditate more. This is not natural. Don't do any kind of weird practice. It doesn't make any sense. Because whenever you shift it to another vibrational unit, the mind is meant to reject that. Remember that the mind constitutes a fake identification with what it is not. Therefore, you're very much encouraged to keep bringing your attention from your mind, which is fully identified with what it is not, and to bring it into your heart, which knows the truth, which knows that you're all one, which has the sense of unity. Let's take another deep breath in. Please gently breathe out. There are certain ways that we have noticed that are very common in your society, that those ways determine very much on which kind of timeline you function on. One of them is that whenever you choose to look at your reality as being that one that you see on your TV or in the newspaper, that reality actually functions on the lowest vibrational timeline. Therefore, as you choose to believe it, as you choose to engage with it, you actually choose to be part of it, and you lower your own vibrational state to it. Therefore, if your thinking is now I can listen to the 9-dimensional Pleiadian collective and tomorrow I can listen to the news, we share with you that it is completely useless. What you actually do is to higher your vibrational field and then to lower it again to the same level. We know that the human mind will say, but I want to know what happens in my world. If I disconnect from any kind of news, then I will not be part of this world anymore. I will not know how to approach it. I will not know how to help others, and so on. We share with you that that specific reality, which is presented to you in your newspapers and TVs, it is just a certain vibrational story which is brought into your attention, forming a very specific timeline that you can choose to embrace or not. It is not more than that. Please remember that there is an infinite number of possibilities of manifesting this reality. As you move from that timeline, you start manifesting in accordance with those, in alignment with those higher vibrational fields. Please take one more deep breath in. Please gently breathe out. For one to shift completely to different timelines, what one has actually to do is to use all those tools and in the same time to keep stepping out of your comfort zone and to notice how your vibrational field changes. It might be that some of you will be able to shift from a very 3-dimensional timeline directly to a 5th-dimensional one. But it might be as well that you will not manage to raise your level of trust and love to actually directly match such a timeline. In this case, we highly encourage you to choose consciously and to adopt that response, which is nor negative nor positive, but rather it's a neutral one. For example, you are giving a specific situation like I've lost my job. Instead of being very happy or being very sad, you can just choose to observe the situation as it is, knowing that something new is going to come into your life, opening your heart, staying curious, not creating any kind of script, not creating any kind of new projection, but allowing life to actually offer to you that situation that fits you perfectly. There might be those of you who will easily recognize all those limited beliefs, and you will choose to let go of them immediately. This happens because your hearts recognize that sense of unity, and it knows very well that there is so much reason to love, there is so much reason to live in trust and to surrender, that you'll actually be able to create a huge shift from a certain range of frequencies to a much higher one. Please take another deep breath in. Please gently breathe out. And as you breathe out, please let go of any tools for writing right now, bringing your attention right in the center of your heart, closing your eyes. Becoming more and more aware of that inner space of love and silence. Becoming fully aware now of the space of your heart. And as you do so, you're invited now to visualize yourself walking in a tunnel. And this tunnel just pops up in front of you. And you decide now to take the first step. And as you enter this tunnel deeper and deeper, you see that everything is dark inside. You do not have any sense of recognition anymore. But you suddenly decide to surrender yourself and to take another step and another one. And as you step deeper into this tunnel, you actually start feeling how the vibration, how the energy starts to change now. And you know that something new is going to come. And as you have no clue of what you're going to find here, you decide as well not to create any kind of expectation, but rather to open your heart as a child will do, full of curiosity, in playfulness, happiness and joy. You decide now to go further. And as you step further and further, you start noticing light in the tunnel. And you decide to go towards that light, taking even more steps now in full trust and love, knowing that you're always guided, becoming aware now that there is a new, fresh way of looking into the unknown. And instead of being afraid and expecting the worst to happen, you actually choose right now to open your heart, not to expect anything at all, but rather to stay in that state of full curiosity and to let life, to allow life to surprise you. And as you take this decision now, you take as well the next step towards that light, becoming more and more convinced that now you're actually ready to let go of any kind of expectation, to let go even of your own plans, to open your heart even more, deeper and deeper layers of your heart. Now you're ready to receive all the surprises that life has for you. And as you do so, you reach the very end of this tunnel, reaching the light as well. And as you look around, right in front of you, there are 3 doors. The first door is the one that it will be open towards the reality that you've already experienced. This doesn't mean that new events cannot form in this reality. It is just that the range of frequencies will be the same, which means that all those experiences, even if they are new, they are going to match a certain vibration. This is the first door. On the other hand, everything that you're going to experience here is going to be quite familiar to you. It will be even comfy. It will give you a sense of being safe. The second door is the one which is a line which opens to another timeline. This timeline is represented by a range of frequency which is a bit higher than the one on which you have functioned until now. There is not such a great difference, but the difference is that the potential to evolve are all there. You don't need too much trust, though you will need to take some risks. You don't need to change completely, and you can change step by step. But you will need to be patient and to keep going in the same direction, highering your vibration more and more as you do so. Please do not forget, if you choose this door, you need patience. There is a third door, the last one. This is that door that opens up to the 5th dimensional reality. To actually start functioning on this timeline, you need to be ready now and to commit to this timeline. You need to be ready to fully open your heart. You need to be ready to face those life situations that bring fear into your life and to shift that approach. As well, if you choose this door, you might need to leave behind anything that doesn't match this high vibration. For the egoic mind, this might be painful. For your own heart, this will be a blessing. And as you stand now in front of the 3 doors, please know that you're free to choose any of them. And once you decide to make the next step, please do not allow your mind to make the choice, but rather ask your heart. And then feel free to open that door and to take a look on that new or old timeline that you have chosen. Please do not forget there is no right or wrong answer. And as you bring your attention in your heart and you ask your heart, what is that door which is proper for me? What is the door that you wish to choose? Please take the new step, a new step, open that door, and become aware of the reality that it brings to you. Taking a glimpse into that new reality. As you take a fresh shower into a new vibration, or maybe into the same vibration. And once you do so, you can also notice if that was the right door for you or not. You can also decide now to change it and to try another one, to take a new glimpse into another reality. But at the end of this process, please take a firm decision. I want to open the first door, the second door, or the third door. And once you commit to that decision, please be aware that you open a timeline, you crystallize a timeline that you have chosen consciously. You can change it in the same way whenever you wish to. Please take a deep breath in. Please breathe out. Please go through the door that you have chosen, taking further steps into that reality which resonates with your own heart. Do not go back into the tunnel, but go through the door into the reality that you have chosen. Taking another deep breath in, breathing out. Once more, being fully aware of the space of your heart. And whenever you're ready, please gently open your eyes. Feeling your physical body, becoming aware of the soles of your feet, placing them on the ground. We thank you all for embodying this transmission. We thank you all for sharing the information further. And mostly, we thank you for having the courage to experience your reality in a different way. We thank you, we love you, we love you, we love you.